Hello, everybody. Welcome back. Happy Monday. Hope you had an amazing weekend. Hope you had a great Spinach Day weekend as well. I'm still going to be watching Spinach Day videos for probably the next couple of foreseeable future days because it is an absolute blast. We've seen some. I haven't, like I said, I've maybe seen a quarter of them. I've seen some huge pulls already. Now you'll notice. The infamous TTM cardboard thing is up there. However, it is not Monday, or it is not Tuesday. It is Monday. We have a Monday Talks. We're going to dig in to the John Autograph Fisherman Burgess Box O Pittsburgh that he sent me a while ago. And because I did the cooking video last Friday, and I kind of went down a rabbit hole over the weekend of a couple of different food-related things. Basically, I have a theory that humans can be very easily tricked simply by how something is named, and then two kind of flavoring things that people are very divisive about, and essentially where they came from. But this is going to be useful for pictures because we got to have some sort of visual aid. But we're going to get into. Whoops! I'm just breaking the universe, aren't I? Yeah, I kind of am. The first part of the box of Pittsburgh that John sent, because there's going to be a lot of TTM fuel and random cards in here. So I figure as something comes up, I've already downloaded the pictures, I just need to actually time it up with what I'm saying. A picture of something related will go there. But, we got all kinds of stuff. Everything backwards. Oh, see, I love the old Hall of Fame cards. Jack Ham, great player. Steve Van Buren. Deacon Jones, the man who coined the term quarterback sack. Buck Buchanan, he's the reason that the Raiders drafted Gene Upshaw, was to have somebody be able to deal with him, and he did. Emlyn Tunnel, Mike Michalski, Alex Wojciechowicz, great player. Willie Brown, Len Ford, Ace Parker, and I love this set. A lot of these guys obviously are past, but they're great-looking cards. Now, just to get into it, I want to first begin my ramblings, and we'll just go through and just take a look at some of the beauty. Hey, there we go. We got some Buccos. Hugo Bezdek. Hey, that was the last time the Pirates were good. Back when everything was in black and white. But how I mentioned that I firmly believe, there's a guy I need to look up, humans can be easily tricked. Has anybody, and I'm sure you have, Hall of Fame cards, there's some great TTM fuel in there. Has anybody ever heard, obviously you probably have, of a fish called the Chilean sea bass? There's a picture of it right there. Did you know, he's an ugly looking fella, isn't he? You know that's not what it's actually called. There is no fish in nature called the Chilean sea bass. No, what you saw up there was called a Patagonian toothfish. If you saw that on the menu, would you buy it? More than likely not. So, I have it written down. Researchman, remember? The term came around in 1977 by a fish wholesaler by the name of Lee Lance. He came up with it after shopping it around because he needed a name that would be more appealing to the American audience. So he shopped around a few names, ended with Chilean sea bass. Obviously, it took off because it's everywhere in all the high-end restaurants, but it was that weirdo-looking fish there. And where was it? In 1994, the FDA actually accepted the name Chilean sea bass as an alternative market name for the Patagonian toothfish, which I find stuff like that funny, fascinating, and funny in a way. I think I looked up to see if I could try to send to her. Tracy Calkins. Yeah, a lot of these are gonna be hopefully be able to get TTM. Rob Brown. Oh my God, look at the mullet on that. Letang, he was the only one doing anything the other day against Calgary. Or not Calgary, Boston. Boy, did the Penguins crap the bed there. John Marino. Patrick Waugh, let's go. Ooh, a numbered Bobby Witt. You're worth a stand. And while we're talking about the stand, let us get into the next one. And this is a rebranding thing. I actually just came across myself recently. Zach, put the photo up there. Bing. Has anybody ever seen these in stores recently? The raspberry oranges? I came across it in the store the other day when I was buying the lemons and things. Phil Housley, let's go. For, gotta just blank. Oh, the cooking video, because I needed lemons and I saw these. So what do you do? Man, we got all kinds of stuff. I mislabeled that as the Boxo Pittsburgh. It should just be the Boxo John. Bobby Allison, I think recently just passed away, rest in peace. Ronnie Hextall, haven't TTM'd him in a while. Zarly Zalapsky, rest in peace. He was a great one. Hey, let's go. Sid the Kid on the silver script. You even beat out Bobby Witt. Oh, I love that card. Love that card. And holograms, Mario. Man, my Mario collection is blowing up. Sizzling shots of the Sid the Kid, Phil Bork, and referee, TTM right there. Now, back to the raspberry oranges. So when I pulled out my phone at the store and Googled what raspberry oranges were, I came across something interesting. Granted, I bought a bag anyway, because you'll see in a moment what the raspberry oranges are. And you can see I picked the picture, I chose the picture I showed in particular, because that is the company that started it, that Kings River Packing, in the year 2018, so not that long ago, and I honestly don't know how I didn't hear about this. They applied for a trademark for the term raspberry orange. Zach, put up the photo of what it actually is. It's the exact same fruit, just under a different name, right there. Bing. They're rebranded blood oranges, because they felt the name blood orange wasn't appealing to a lot of people, especially in the United States. And from what I've read, once they changed the name to raspberry oranges, all of a sudden, sales increased, much like the Chilean sea bass. Not surprising. And granted, like I said, even if it would have been a bag of blood oranges, I'd have bought them because I do enjoy blood oranges. That bag is almost entirely gone now. No scurvy for this guy, I will tell you that much. Between the lemons and the oranges, I am going to be scurvy-free for 2025. But it's stuff like that that just really fascinates me. Card Wolf, shout out Card Wolf, the Gray Wolf, he pulled one of them. Dennis Cook, oh, these are great. I love these team cards because there's so many different people you can try to get. Same with the basketball. Oop, we got a little checklist thing. I like these, the 64 Olympic basketball team, because a couple of the guys still are very good signers. We got Gino. Oh, here we go. We'll go through a little bit of a handful, and then I'll get on to my next little rant, because this one isn't so much a rebranding, but a creation of something that one really shouldn't be, but is, and people are very, like I say, very, very divisive about it. One of the best players of all time right there, Rod Woodson. Rick Roden, love those hats, and 86 Tops, one of my favorite series. Gory Roberts, Terry that is a mustache there. Do you sign? We're going to find out. Oh, God, can't read. Oh, God, can't read. It's Leaf. Oh, God, it's Leaf, can't read. Ed Patterson, yeah, I never was going to get that. Marcus Naslund, I haven't thought of him in a minute. Joey Mullen, amazing. Larry Murphy, amazing. Gino, Sean McEachern, let's go. Oh, man, Shell Samuelson, Marty Straka, very good signer. He's over in the Czech Republic. He sent me back a bunch of extras when I sent to him. May have to try him again. Oh, that's a beautiful Trottier. That's going out to get signed, because there's a lot of white room. Zach Aston Reese, Bob Airy, love him. Mike C. This is like a lot of my childhood here. Casey DeSmith, Joey Mullen, that guy. The way the Penguins were playing against the Bruins the other day, I was like, oh my God, did they bring Jari back up? No, it was Nedeljkovic. He was just having an off day. Oh, so much Penguin. Like I said, Rick Tocchet. Big fan of Rick Tocchet. I always like Brian Rust, too. The old 2-9er. Phil Bork. That is mullet worthy right there. I love these old pro set hockey cards with the old photos. Love them. One of my favorites growing up. Will not sign anything, TTM, by the way, so do not try. He just does not, never has, never will. That's just how he was, Tommy Barrasso. Love the old And this is the one, let me see if I can spot him in the photo. I sent this, where's he at? He's in the picture because that's why I said right there in the center, Jimmy Pack. Huge fan of Jimmy Pack. The, I believe the only Korean, maybe possibly first and only Asian to have his name engraved on the cup. He's like king of the Ice Hockey Federation in South Korea. I think the head coach of their national team and the president of the federation. Great player. And he was fun to watch. Like I shouldn't say he wasn't like a great elite flashy player, but he was one of those players that you would have noticed if he wasn't there, kind of thing. And that sometimes is the highest praise you can give somebody, like in positions like, defenseman in hockey, a fullback in football, American football, I should say. For kids, if you've never heard of that position, don't worry, it's been essentially erased. But it's the guys that are always there doing their job, and because they're doing their job, they allow other people to do the flashy stuff. That's why I always appreciated him. Now, we're going to pause a moment. We're going to enjoy Sid the Kid. And we're going to talk about blue raspberries. Well, obviously we know the blue raspberry isn't real because there aren't many blue foods. Blueberries, you can kind of argue what shade they are. That being said, the cartoon blue that is anything blue raspberry flavored, something else. Now, there's always been like the urban legend that, it was a result, they were trying to make an artificial strawberry flavor. No, that's actually not the case, because it's raspberry flavor. Blue has nothing to do with the flavor, obviously, but it's just raspberry flavor, and there's a lot of science behind this. They developed it in 1958, or they had the artificial raspberry flavor pre 1958, but it's a combination of pineapple, banana, and cherry esters. The flavor essences. Basically, it came about in 1958 with snow cones. Gold medal snow cone syrup, and they used a dye called Brilliant Blue. Why they did that? Because essentially they had more flavors than they had colors. And so they wanted to do that to kind of distinguish raspberry from other, typically what you would assume as red flavors, cherry, apple, strawberry, etc. So that came out, and also because so it took a break from 1958. They were the only ones doing the blue syrup. And then all of a sudden, the dye that they used to use, red dye number 2, by the way, for the raspberry flavor was banned by the FDA in 1976, part of that whole it's a carcinogen thing. They were looking around, they found blue dye, the Brilliant Blue, which is blue number 1, on the shelf, and it has been approved for use since 1965. So there you go. The blue raspberry, again, kind of was a marketing decision. We needed to market it. We had a flavor that we can't really use because there's too many like colors. So thus, essentially in 1958, the blue raspberry was born. For the record, blue raspberry does not really exist in nature. If it does, be concerned. That is all I'm going to say. So we're going to go through the last part of this first one. Yeah, we did about half the box. John, you're going to keep me busy for days. And I haven't even done the other half. We're going to keep me busy for days just making sure these are sorted. And for TTM purposes. Oh, Timmy Hortons, let's go. Jared McCann, Jason Zucker, another of the old school. Which one is that? History of the NHL All-Star Game. That'll be a fun set, actually, or a fun little thing to do. Kevin Stevens, Jari, Tanev, Casey DeSmith, Jeff Carter. Man, he's old. I think. Does it say his date of birth? 1985. Yeah, he's getting old. He's older than Crosby. Letang, Malkin, Gensel, miss him, Zucker. Oh, a lot of the guys that were good, but then, I don't know, the Penguins did what the Penguins do. Brian Rust. Oh, God, can't read it. Yanni Laakkonen. Wow. I hate those. I hate that logo. Despise. John Marino, Gino, Bluger, Colin Moran, Le Magnifique, Ronnie Francis. Man, we're rebuilding the 1990 Stanley Cup team here almost. Letang, Galchenyuk, Dumoulin. Ooh, we've got Zapuzel, Ooh, the Harmon Killebrew Puzel. I've got a bunch of these. We need to complete that. Olimata, Rust, and a really, that's a good one to end on. A beautiful, shiny, select Ron Francis. Now, for the final thing. I would like to know, pause the video for a second and put a comment down there. What are your feelings on the artificial banana flavor? It's one of those, you really, really like it, or you think it's one of the worst creations that has ever happened. I, personally, I kind of like it. Like banana runts, banana candies, banana popsicles. I like that artificial banana flavor. Now, pardon me, chief complaint about the artificial banana flavor is simple. It doesn't taste like banana. Not any banana that we've ever had. And there's a reason for that. It's a partial reason for that. For you see, if you guys didn't know, this might be a little weird, because when I first heard this, actually not that long ago, my mind was blown. The artificial banana flavor is based off of a banana cultivar that essentially has gone all but extinct in the 1950s. I think it was the mid to late 1950s. So what I'm saying there is, the reason that the majority of people, especially in the United States, say artificial banana doesn't taste like banana, it's kind of true, because none of us have ever tasted that particular banana. Zach, put up the photo. Boom! There it is right there. That is the old banana that went extinct in the U.S. in the 1950s. That is the Gros Michel banana. Looks very similar. And from what I'm reading, it had the higher concentration of the particular ester that they used to make the flavoring. It's not developed specifically from that cultivar, but it's based off of it, so it has kind of that taste reminiscent of it. Now, and obviously what happened, because, now here's the crazy thing, bananas are clones. Did y'all know that? I didn't know that up until not that long ago. Bananas are clones. They're all clones of one another. They cannot reproduce sexually, which means they are unable, as a species, to develop resistance to disease, because they all come from the same original plant with the same genetic makeup. So in the 1950s, there was a fungus or a mold or something, I can't remember which it is. It was called Panama disease. It infected the crop, wiped it out. It basically wiped it out. And then we grew our own bananas. Boom, right there. That's the one. Those are the ones we have now. Those are the Cavendish bananas. That's the ones we're all used to, the ones you go to the store. Now, obviously, science is worried, because like the Gros Michel, the Cavendish are also clones. So if another, as weird as this sounds, but it's, I can't really think of a better term for it. If another banana plague comes through, more than likely it will wipe out that entire cultivar as well. They are trying to do different things. And interestingly enough, when I said the Gros Michel, well, it went extinct in the U.S. and North America, and nearly extinct. Nearly. It's still around. Grown only in Uganda, from what I've read. That's the only place that the Gros Michel, granted it's under a different name. Zach, put up the other name for the Gros Michel right there. Thank you. But it's still around. I think that's one of those things, like, I would love to try one. Just to see. Just to see what all the kerfuffle is about. And plus, I got to use the word kerfuffle. So, all in all, I'd say that was a pretty good Monday. So yeah, these are, like I say, these are the weird thoughts that pop into my head when I'm sitting there and I'm watching something, and something will strike a little tune like, hey, how is this working? And when I was cooking, and the blood oranges got me thinking. I'm sorry, the raspberry oranges got me thinking. That was awesome. That was fun. That was a good 20 minutes of going through some cards. There's going to be a lot of stuff to go through. Really nice ones. John, buddy, I really appreciate you. The numbered Bobby Witt, the Sid the Kid Silver script, all kinds of old penguins from the 90s. Pardon me. It's going to be An absolutely fun time. So right there, shout out Autograph Fisherman John Burgess. Really appreciate it, bud. Link to him down below. And yeah. But like I say, this is the weird stuff. Like, I'll think about it so you don't have to. But now that you've watched it, you're probably going to be thinking about it. So let me know what you think down below. Hope you have a great rest of the week. We will see you next time.